Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
The Smart India Hackathon is a platform where participants showcase their problem-solving skills by addressing real-life challenges. It takes a lot of planning to effectively deal with problem statements in the Smart India Hackathon or any hackathon. Today, we will talk to a past winner of SIH who will share his thoughts about one of the problem statements of SIH 2023. We'll be talking about the problem statement number 1503, which is building automatic drug dispenser. So without losing any more time, let's welcome Jeet Doshi. Hi Jeet, welcome to the show.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for having me here.
So Jeet, to begin with, just tell us something about yourself so that we get to know you better.
Okay, so my name is Jeet Joshi and I'm currently pursuing BTech in Information Technology. I'm a student from uh, DJ Sangvi College of Engineering in Mumbai. And while I participated in Smart India Hackathon back in 2022, I was pursuing diploma. I was a student of final year diploma from VES Polytechnic. And that's when we participated, and this was the very first hackathon we were part of. So before that, we had no clue about what hackathon is or how we are supposed to participate in hackathon and stuff. But we went with the flow, we went with the guidance, and we participated in Smart India Hackathon 2022, and fortunately, we end up winning in the same.
Yeah, of course. And congratulations for that. So, share a bit of your experience that you went through in the earlier edition. How was it? Like, how did you feel while participating?
So as I mentioned, this was our very first hackathon we participated in, and we had absolutely no clue on how the team formation is supposed to be done, how we were supposed to identify the problem statement, or how we are supposed to participate in Smart India Hackathon, or what would be the entire process. So we initially started with, I consulted with a friend of mine who was with me. So we are in third year diploma, which is as good as first year of BTech. So while we were in the grand finale round as well in our Nodal Center, which was in Hyderabad, we turned out to be the youngest team in the center because it was first year BTech, equivalent of first year BTech. And we also had a couple, at least 50% of the team was from second year diploma, which is as good as 12th standard. So we turned out to be the youngest team there. So I consulted a friend initially that this is a hackathon and this is a national level hackathon. So let's explore it, and if it is possible, we can participate into it. So we talked and we then explored all the problem statements which were available on the website of SH 2022. There we identified a couple of problem statements which we found are good and relevant, the problems which we have faced ourselves, and we thought that we would be able to provide a better solution to it. So two of us then came up with a solution as to what should be the solution. After identifying the solution, we not noted down of what skills we would be looking for while we form a team of 6 members. So considering those skills, we formed a team. And as I said, we were second year and third year students. We had no clue of app development, web development. So we learned that all our own through the best reference of YouTube. And we learned through it. And that's how we went through the entire process. We submitted just one problem statement there. We were not even aware that we had the opportunity to submit in multiple problem statements. So we submitted in one problem statement, and fortunately, we turned out to be a winner of that problem statement. And yeah, it was a big achievement for us as well as our college because we turned out to be the first college which participated in SIH 2022, and we won in SIH 2022.
Despite being a newbie, a new entrant, you went on to win the competition, and I think viewers will take a lot of heart from that statement and will not really be afraid of being a first timer. So that's very inspiring to hear, Jeet. So now coming to this particular problem statement that you are about to discuss with us, why did you choose this particular one? Automatic drug dispenser. Like, why is it that you want to discuss this particular thing? Are you good at it, or you understand this particular sphere better? What is it all about?
So we had, I think, 20 to 50 plus problem statement this edition. And I went through all the problem statement. And when I came across this problem statement, so this was something which I felt pretty relatable. Like I have a elder grandmother who usually like gets admitted to hospital. So I have faced that issue myself as well. When we visit to some hospital, we have to wait in queues for getting the medication, or sometimes the medication is not available. So at the end, it turns out to be a headache to get the medicines on time, and so that the treatment can be provided on time. So this was the problem statement which I found to be more relatable as compared to the other problem statement. And once we find a problem statement which is relatable, it becomes easier for us to identify a solution for it, because we assume that we are trying to build a solution for ourselves and considering the problem we have. So at the end, we turn out to be a better solution.
Right. So this solution basically was, quite close to your real life, and I'm sure it is close to real life of a lot of people around. So this definitely needs attention and a very good solution, which I'm sure you guys are going to come up with. All our new participants will definitely crack it. So coming back to this stage, when you are here to kind of advise on how to go about doing this, let's start with that. So to begin with, tell us what kind of a team will you build up for this particular PS?
Okay, so when it comes to building the team, once we have identified the problem statement and we have identified that what could be the potential solution to it, we we automatically understand what type of skill sets would be required in the team. So if I speak particularly with respect to this problem statement, I think this problem statement would require a good combination of hardware as well as software, which straight away says that we should have a team which has a combination of people who are good at hardware and people who are good at software as well. So building a team which contributes equally towards the progress of the project is important. So considering that, I think a combination of software and hardware would be pretty important considering this problem statement.
Right. So now coming to the part where we you start doing the work on this. So how do you really begin? Like to begin with, I'm sure you'll do some kind of a research or some kind of a knowledge gathering from the people who are into this particular field. So how will you go about doing all that?
So for the first important thing while we build such type of project is to understand to do the competitive analysis, because there we understand who are the competitors who are existing. While we understand who are the competitors that exist in the same domain or in the similar domain, it becomes easier to identify the problem their solution they are providing has. So then we intend to overcome those problems as well, which at the end turns out to be a better solution from the competitor, which we call as the USP. And hence, it is important to do the research well. We have a lot of references now available, having AI tools coming into market, AI tools and YouTube. We simply Google drug dispenser or a medical kiosk will come up with a list of the companies who are developing it, who are manufacturing it, and using YouTube perhaps as a better reference, we can get a complete overview of how the existing products are working. So once we study the existing products, it becomes easier to map our solution with the product and to understand that, oh, this could be a possible problem in our solution. So when we encounter those problems within our solution as well, we keep on enhancing our solution as a whole.
Okay, so what about technology part? It is not only software at one hand, hardware at one hand, but also some kind of an automation. We're talking about a dispensing machine. So a lot of players coming together to put this one thing together. So how will you deal with all those branches of this particular PS?
So while we get started to develop this product, obviously, as we said, the team should be equal, like software as well as hardware. Now, when it comes to software as well, as you said, there is a requirement of automation definitely, and that's where AI, ML, and relatable technologies come into picture. So having a team with software hardware, it is important to also have some people who are good at AI and ML so that they can try to automate the entire process to implement the AI and ML modules as well. So the easiest way to develop this product would be breaking down the product into various modules and dividing the modules among the team member to whoever it suits best. So if it is a part of automation, it should go to an AI developer or to an ML developer in the team. If it is a hardware, the software is nowhere related to hardware, so it should completely go to the person who is working towards the hardware module. So the best part would be to break down into modules and to distribute the modules such that the right person has the right module to work upon.
So yeah, distribution of work in a proper manner is definitely a key to any successful project. Fine. So now moving forward, let me try and understand, or tell me how much work and what all work would you like to finish before you reach the hackathon, and take it there with you.
When it comes to going to an event like Smart India Hackathon, we obviously think to provide the best possible solution. So it usually happens that in the problem statement description as well, there are some insights given regarding what is the expected solution. So those insights of what the expected solution are the topmost features or modules that are taken to be into that are supposed to be taken into consideration. So while we distribute the modules, it is important to give the priority, like to what priority each module holds to, and the top highest priority should be what is the basic requirement which is mentioned in the problem statement, because that is what the evaluators look for, that is what the problem setters look for. What except for those modules or except for those features we provide are the USP of your solution. So obviously those are also important, but unless and until someone clears the basic step of basic requirement by the problem setters or by the evaluators, directly jumping to the USPs wouldn't make such sense. So first importance or what one should try to cover before the day of grand finale is to develop the project such that it meets all the requirement mentioned in the problem statement. So while you are in 36 hours, while you are in the hackathon phase, you are in the grand finale, you can work to improvise the solution. You can work on your USPs to make your solution better than the competitors of the grand finale. But the first and foremost, the most important thing would be to meet the requirement which is stated in the problem statement description.
Right, so that covers a lot of ground. Sure, that was a very valid input. So now, what about the actual hackathon part when you're there and actually competing on ground? So, what all work do you think can and should happen there?
So during those 36 hours, as I said, the focus should be to improvising the solution and also rigorously testing what we have done already, what we have done prepared before the hackathon. Because it sometimes happens that a particular module or a particular feature is working well when you prepare it at your hometown and your within your vicinity. But as you go to the nodal center, as you go for the grand finale round, for some reason, it happens that it is giving some issues which was not expected. So it is important to keep testing the modules which you have done previously to ensure that what you have done is working correctly still. And by the time you reach to the end of the 36 hours, by the time you reach to the grand final pitch, it is important to ensure that everything you have done is working in sync and there is no issue that has happened in the 36 hours. Like whatever changes you made, whatever enhancement you made, has not affected the existing modules and the existing features.
Okay, so another vital thing that happens during that period of hackathon is evaluators coming in and suggesting changes, or trying to change the course of entire thing sometimes. So how does a person deal with that? Because a lot of effort is required, a renewed effort is required to make changes and make alterations. So how does one deal with that?
So when an evaluator comes during the evaluation, during the multiple evaluation stages, and they come up and give you certain suggestions, there are two things which can be considered. Number one, they are giving suggestions to make your project better. And number two, they are giving you the suggestions to check whether the modules or features you have made before the hackathons were genuinely developed by you. Because there could be cases where you outsource the projects or you have got it done from someone else and you yourself might not be aware of what is done there. And to evaluate that you are aware, you have the core knowledge of what you have developed, what product you are building, they provide certain suggestions and it is important to evaluate or to implement those, because those act as a checklist that yeah, the team is aware of what technology, what knowledge they are using, what all things they are implementing into, and overall it gives a better impression of the team. And when it comes to how to tackle those suggestions which come in, obviously as you go through multiple rounds of evaluation, there would be a list of suggestions would be given by the evaluators, which is pretty obvious and which is natural in general case. So in that case as well, you need to prioritize that what is the highest priority suggestions which are provided. So for an example, if there are 10 suggestions which are given, you need to jot it down in a way that this is the highest priority, and then you need to walk in the direction to achieve at most number of suggestions. The more the merrier. If you are able to achieve all the 10 suggestions, it is well and good. But in case, if you are worst case, considering the worst case scenario, if you are able to achieve just seven suggestions, which were, or 7 out of 10 suggestions which were provided, then in that case, you need to have in mind an alternative for the three suggestions which you are not able to implement. So those alternatives can be in the form of features or module as well, or it could be a justified reason as to why you didn't implement those features, or why you think that those features would not align with your project or your product which you are trying to build. So it is important to justify why you're not able to do so. But again, as I said, more the merrier. It is better to complete all the features. But considering the worst case scenario, it is important to have a justified reason as to why you are not able to implement those suggestions.
Right. So basically, handling that evaluation process wisely and effectively holds the key. Great. So, Jeet, to wrap it up, let me have one bit of suggestion from you. Suggestion, or you can say a list of do's and don'ts, which you would suggest to the viewers who are willing to participate or might be looking to participate.
Sure. So from I will speak this from my personal experience that I have been a participant of winner of Smart India Hackathon 2022, and I was the grand finalist of UNESCO India Africa Hackathon 2022. So comparing the difference between both the hackathon, how what our attitude was during both the hackathons, I think it will give a better idea and better suggestions for the viewers of this, that while we participated in Smart India Hackathon, to be very honest, we were the only team in our Nodal Center who were enjoying the entire 36 hours. We were enjoying, we had recreational activities during the midnight as well. So we were the first team who went down on the stage to dance with the volunteers. So basically, we were enjoying the entire 36 hours. And because of that, while we were enjoying, our minds were also fresh. And because of which we were able to focus better on the projects. We are not so stressed out as compared to the other teams. Like, to be very honest, we had heard this from a couple of teams as well. Like a couple of our senior team members came and told us that how are you so chill? Like, are you have you gave up on the project or what is the case? And we were chilling because in our case as well, we had I remember we had 11 suggestions. Those came out from the evaluators, out of which we were able to crack around 8 suggestions. But the three which we didn't, we had a justified reason because of which we are not able to correct those suggestions. But still, we were satisfied with what we did. And overall, in the 36 hours, we had a very happy mindset that, yeah, we are working in the right direction. This being our first hackathon, we being the youngest team in the entire Nodal Center, we were having fun. And we were even playing around, we were taking multiple breaks to chill and refresh ourselves. And because of that, we were able to work in a smooth and synchronized manner, which at the end helped us to win the hackathon. And that, if we compare in our participation in UNESCO hackathon, it was a little complicated project as comparatively, because of which we were stressed out that the modules or features which we are trying to work since 6 hours, 8 hours is still not being implemented. It's still not working as it was expected. So in those 36 hours of our international hackathon, we were completely stressed out, because of which we ended up not working so efficiently. And by the end of like 30 hours, across 30 hours, we almost gave up that this is not working as we wanted to. So that was the major difference in our attitude in SIH and in our international hackathon. So I definitely recommend that having a positive attitude, that yes, we are walking in the right direction, what we are developing is the right solution, and the chances of our winning the grand finale is high as compared to our competitors. They're very high, considering the project which we are developing. So that attitude plays a vital role. and the attitude, the happy mindset, and the positive mindset will definitely lead to any team be satisfied and be the winner of this edition as well.
So it was a very, very heartening input coming from you, Jeet. Keeping that positive attitude, enjoying the entire experience. I mean, not getting bogged down and, just chilling out and working at the same time. So, of course, if you go with that positive mind, that positive spirit, and try to remain happy throughout, you stand better chances of winning it. So, make a note of that, guys. This is very important coming from Jeet. So, Jeet, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, your inputs with us, and I'm sure it will be very useful for the viewers, and they will definitely make good use of all your advice. So, Jeet, thank you so much for joining, and we wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on this platform. Thank you.
Thanks.
And all the best, everyone.
Right, sure. Remember, effective collaboration, creativity, and adaptability are crucial during hackathons. Embrace challenges, stay focused, and enjoy the learning experience. All the best.